If you've ever ordered a crab dish at a fancy restaurant, or even picked up a can labeled lump crab at the grocery store, you've probably wondered, what exactly makes it lump crab? Is it just regular crab meat with a fancier name, or is there something genuinely special about it? Well, it turns out that lump crab isn't just a marketing trick, it's an actual classification. And knowing the difference can help you pick the right kind for your next meal. So let's break it down. What is lump crab meat? Where does it come from? And how is it different from all those other crab meat labels like jumbo lump or backfin? Right here on History of Simple Things. To understand what lump crab is, we first have to talk about the crab itself. Most lump crab meat sold in markets comes from blue crabs, especially the Atlantic blue crab, which is found along the U.S. East Coast and the Gulf of Mexico. These crabs are small but flavorful, and their meat has a sweet, delicate taste that seafood lovers can't get enough of. Inside every crab, there are different sections where the meat can be extracted. Each area produces a slightly different texture and flavor. Lump crab meat specifically comes from the swimming legs and the body cavity of the crab, two areas that yield large, firm, and naturally white chunks of meat. These pieces hold together beautifully, which is why they're so popular in dishes where you want to actually see and taste those satisfying flakes of crab. Now, you've probably seen several crab meat labels before: jumbo lump, lump, backfin, special, and even claw. These aren't just arbitrary names. They tell you what part of the crab the meat came from and how large or fine the pieces are. Jumbo lump sits at the top of the hierarchy. These are the largest, most prized chunks of meat taken from the crab's two big swimming muscles. They're whole, round, and look impressive on a plate, perfect for dishes like crab cocktails or buttered crab cakes where presentation matters. Regular lump crab, the one we're talking about here, comes from the same general area of the crab, but includes slightly smaller pieces mixed in. It still has those beautiful, firm white chunks, just not as large as the jumbo version. Think of lump crab as the perfect middle ground, high quality, versatile, and affordable. Below that, you've got backfin, which is a mix of lump and smaller bits of body meat. Then comes special, made up of finer flakes from the body, and finally claw, which has darker meat with a stronger, more distinct flavor. Each type serves a different purpose in the kitchen, depending on texture, taste, and price. Collecting lump crab meat isn't as simple as cracking open a crab and scooping it out. It's a meticulous process that involves a surprising amount of hand labor. After the crabs are steamed or boiled, skilled workers carefully pick through the shells to extract the meat without breaking it into smaller pieces. That's why lump crab, especially the larger grades, tends to be more expensive. The goal is to keep the meat intact, so you end up with those signature large, flaky chunks instead of shredded bits. In many processing facilities, the crab meat is then sorted by hand and separated into the categories we mentioned earlier. From there, it might be pasteurized to extend its shelf life, especially for canned or refrigerated products. Pasteurized lump crab is cooked and sealed in airtight containers, allowing it to stay fresh for months without sacrificing its texture or flavor. What really makes lump crab stand out is its texture and taste. Because the pieces are large and firm, they hold up well in recipes that call for visible chunks of crab. Crab cakes, crab salads, and crab-stuffed dishes like mushrooms or pasta all benefit from lump meat because it gives each bite a satisfying meaty feel. Unlike claw meat, which is darker and has a stronger, brinier taste, lump crab has a mild, sweet flavor that pairs beautifully with creamy or buttery sauces. It doesn't overpower other ingredients, and that's why chefs love it. In fact, for most high-quality crab dishes that don't specifically demand jumbo pieces, lump crab is considered the gold standard. It strikes the perfect balance between texture, taste, and cost. When you buy lump crab, you'll usually find it in three forms: fresh, frozen, or canned. Fresh lump crab, often sold in refrigerated tubs, is prized for its delicate texture and flavor. This version is great for cold dishes like salads or fresh crab rolls. Frozen lump crab is often flash frozen shortly after cooking to preserve its quality. It's convenient, especially if you don't live near the coast. The texture might be slightly softer than fresh, but it's still a solid choice for most recipes. Canned or pasteurized lump crab, on the other hand, is the most widely available and shelf-stable option. It's perfect for anyone who wants real crab meat without worrying about spoilage. Just make sure to drain it well before using. It's often packed in brine or liquid to keep it moist. So why does the industry even bother labeling crab meat with these terms? The answer is consistency. Since not all crab meat is the same, these labels help restaurants, suppliers, and consumers know exactly what they're getting. When you see lump crab on a menu, you can expect tender, medium-sized white chunks that are perfect for high-quality dishes without the premium price tag of jumbo lump. It's not just marketing. It's about setting a standard. And that's why knowing what lump means can help you make better choices, whether you're cooking at home or ordering from a menu. So, next time you see the words lump crab printed on a label or menu, you'll know it's not just another seafood buzzword. It's the result of careful sorting, expert picking, and a culinary tradition that values texture and flavor. Each lump of crab meat represents a little bit of that ocean sweetness, packed neatly into a tender, satisfying bite. Whether you're making crab cakes, creamy chowder, or just eating it straight from the can with a squeeze of lemon, lump crab meat is proof that sometimes the simplest things from the sea are also the most special. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. If you enjoyed this video, please check out our other bingeable channels. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.